reason I picked the laptop is for a very specific reason. The year was 1995, and I was in the middle of an emergency medicine residency here at McMaster University, and I had gotten a very rare disease called Goodpasture syndrome. And it made me quite sick. You know, the treatment was basically chemotherapy and something called plasma exchange. So I was off work for a while, and anybody who knows me knows that I don't like to not be busy. And so there was this new thing, I know young people hold your breath, called the internet. And some of my friends owned a computer company, and they said, well, if you're bored, why don't you try this internet? You know, you really think it's really cool. You can put anything in. And so I'm like, I'll give you some context to this. I always knew who I was. I knew who I was. I knew I had been a transgender child. I was a transgendered adult. I knew who I was. But for me, every time I'd ever looked at a transgender person, they came in two categories. One was a celebrity transgender person, right? Somebody who was famous for being transgender, like a Renee Richards, like a Tula, she was a Bond girl, and these people were very famous. And then alternatively, there were the trans people that were portrayed in film and media. So Brian De Palma's Dressed to Kill, Anthony Perkins in Psycho, where these people were portrayed as deviant and killers and awful people. Well, I was pretty sure I wasn't a celebrity, and I was pretty sure I wasn't a killer. However, so then I got this computer and internet thing, and I dialed it up, and it was dial-up back then. It took a while for it to dial up. And I very, very furtively put in the search term transgender, assuming that at any moment the police would break down the door and say, who put in the search term transgender? It wasn't me, it was the cat. And so I did it. And to my amazing surprise, hundreds and hundreds of websites suddenly came up. Some were porn, yes, but many were just about regular people living regular lives. At that point I realized I don't have to be a killer or a celebrity, like regular people do this. And so that had a lot of meaning to me. And then subsequently, obviously, I transitioned at a Catholic hospital. And what's most interesting is the idea of success. And I thought about, when I talked to you today about success, what does that mean? Well, it's funny, in my community, what being successful means. It means literally not losing your life. I mean, don't mean that literally, I mean actually metaphorically, not being erased as a human being, not losing your job, not losing your family, not losing your economic independence. That's what we define as success. That is a successful transgender person. And so what I hope when you all think about success in my community is that maybe one day we'll come to the point where being transgender isn't just successful when you just don't lose your life, but in fact when you're judged on the merit of what you do. Thank you.